Nick Baldwin for SevereMMA here with the newest addition to the UFC's featherweight roster. It is Vince Murdock. He takes on Jordan Griffin this Saturday night at UFC Minneapolis. Vince, welcome to the UFC. I'm just curious, what's your sort of initial reaction? How does it feel being part of the UFC?
It's everybody's ultimate goal to get to the UFC, and I'm just, it's been super surreal. I'm still kind of soaking in the whole thing. Super excited to be here. I feel like it's been a long time coming. But I'm finally glad to be here and excited to put on a show.
When you say it's been a long time coming, you've been active on the California circuit sort of all over the country, and even I think you fought up in Canada maybe once or twice as well. Are you surprised that it took this long?
A little bit. I've been competing with some of the best people for almost 10 years now. So I always knew I belonged here, and I'm just, it sucks it took so long, but I'm here now, so that's all that matters.
How did this all come together? You're stepping up on short notice for Chas Kelly. When did you find out you would be fighting Jordan Griffin, and how long have you had to prepare for this fight?
About 15 days. I got the call from my managers just randomly. I was kind of preparing for the Sacramento card. We had a lot of guys, team alpha male on that card, and I just wanted to be ready just in case a short notice opportunity came up for that. So I was kind of already getting ready. My managers knew that. So when they gave me the call, they didn't even have to ask. I just said, "Hey, we got you a fight," and that was a great experience that I'll never forget that either. That was awesome.
So the short notice is not an issue.
Yeah, I mean it's short, but it doesn't feel so short. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. When you got in your last win, after it, getting that finish, did you feel like that was enough and your next fight would probably be in the UFC, or were you not too sure?
I'd had sort of an opportunity early on, and I was in a position where I couldn't take the fight, so I kind of felt like that I still had a shot at this. It wasn't so much, the finish. It was just more so that I just kept putting guys away, and it was tough for me to get fights. It's like, when the call comes, I just need to be ready, and that's how this came out.
You mentioned you were in a position where you weren't able to take a fight. Can you talk about that? What sort of put you in that position?
Yeah, so I recently got engaged in September.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And, planning the wedding and among things kind of, I wouldn't say take a toll, but I was unprepared for some of the wedding, what it took to get, what it was going to take to get married and in focus and stuff. And so we decided to postpone the wedding. But when I first got that first call, I was not in a position to, financially, mentally, my weight, I was a little heavier. We were doing a lot of things. We were trying to really prepare for it, and our mind was kind of on that. And then this was kind of unexpected when I got that first one. And, I called my manager the next day and I go, reschedule the wedding for 2020. Let's do this. Let them know I'm ready. So you don't even have to ask next time. Just say yes.
So next year the wedding is happening?
Yeah,
that's the plan?
That's the plan. That's the plan.
How long do you feel like you've been on the UFC's radar?
I feel like I've been talked about, a couple of years ago. I'd say since 2000, maybe 16, maybe a little earlier, later. Somewhere around then, though. I'd like to think that I've been in the talks or amongst the talks for a while, and I've just had some unfortunate events through my career that has kind of held me back, but I'm here now. So,
over those 3 years where you feel like you've sort of been on their radar, have you had communication with the UFC matchmakers? Have they sort of told you stay ready, maybe get one more win and you'll be in? Have you, before now, had you had any conversation with them?
Yeah, not particularly through me, maybe my managers and stuff,
Sure.
but I feel like I've been told to stay ready since 2015. So yeah, I'm always staying ready now.
Did you ever get to a point where you thought this might just not come? Were you ever frustrated, or did you still were you able to stay believing that this would come eventually?
Yeah, there's definitely some ups and downs. This is my 10th year. I started fighting in 2009, right in high school. So this will be my 10th year in the sport, and it's not brand new to me. So after putting so much time in there, my body's been through some wars and practice and things, and I questioned it sometimes, but I don't know anything else, and it's getting in the gym and it's doing what I know how to do, and that's compete and fight and do what I love. So
If I had asked 2009 Vince Murdock, how long do you think it'll take to get to the UFC, what would you have said?
Professional fighting was illegal in Michigan. It wasn't even sanctioned until I think 2010 when the UFC came. So in 2009, if you had asked me, I would I've been like, I'm not trying to go to the UFC. I thought fighting in bars was cool or something.
Well, I mean, in 2009, what was the goal in this sport?
When I first started fighting, I was just happy to be able to still competing and doing something that I enjoyed doing. I was still just a kid, so I didn't know, how far something like this could take me. We didn't have gyms like the Team Alpha Male, the one I'm at now. Those weren't around back then, so it just seemed kind of like an unattainable goal at the time. And then as I progressed through the sport, I just kept making bigger goals, and I kept crushing those goals, and that's how it kind of led into here. But yeah, 2009 me, definitely couldn't foresee this, that's for sure.
How are things at Team Alpha Male these days?
They're great, man. We're really coming together. The team's always growing. The atmosphere is like anything I've ever experienced, and that's the reason why I've been there as long as I have. It's great, man. It's good. Everything's great right now.
Urijah Fabers, your teammates, or the head of the gym, he's
right.
coming back. I'm sure you've talked a lot about Urijah over the past month or so. What do you make of his return? Do you think it's the right move to come back? And this fight against Ricky Simone, how do you feel about Faber coming back?
I think it's cool, especially at his age. I feel like the time off has actually done him some good. I think anytime you have an opportunity to compete, and still willing and able, and your body's you should, or if you want to. I think he's in great shape, and he is in a position where he can still compete, and capable, really capable. He retired great, and he's coming back even better, I think. So I think Ricky, was it Simone?
Simone.
Yeah, I think he's in for a fight. Uriah's is looking sharp right now. So.
You're taking on Jordan Griffin this Saturday in Minneapolis. What do you see in him? What are your thoughts on your opponent? How do you stack up against him?
He's just another tall southpaw. I don't find him to be too technical, so I feel I stack up well. I feel like my wrestling's better. I feel like I'm better everywhere. So gonna have to test my lungs in there and really push the pace. But other than that, man, I feel like I stack up great. Like, this is a good fight for me. It's a good fight for my debut, so I'm excited to get in there.
Do you have a prediction? How do you think you get it done on Saturday?
My prediction's always to get in and get out as fast as I can. So hopefully in the first, man, I'd make my mom a lot happier.
I imagine a performance bonus would be pretty nice.
My fiance would appreciate it for sure.
Vince, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and best of luck to you on Saturday.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.